Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatham to all the brothers. Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahshua Shem Yahshua to all the sisters. I am priest and officer Ibadayah 1000, holding down the Monday night scripture breakdown class till General Mahayaman gets here, or until, of course, high-ranking officer gets into the building. Please have your questions ready in the chat for General Mahayaman. He will answer all questions according to the Bible, with the authority and power given to him under Commander General YAHANNA and the Most High in Christ in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. We're going to start with Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. Yasharallah, Israel. We need to understand that we are a royal nation. We are a prince of the power. If you're a male, princess of the power. If you are female, we are a royal nation. So what does that mean? We have to, Christ said it best himself. Love the Most High power with all thy heart, mind, and soul, and love your neighbor as you love yourself. We need to give respect to ourselves and to our fellow Black, Hispanic, Native man, woman, and child. We got to do that. We got to have dignity, self-respect, courtesy, brotherhood. We need to do these things. We need to rehearse the righteous acts. We must rehearse the righteous acts. That's keeping the Lord's Passover. That's keeping the High Holy Day, the Day of Atonement, YAHANNA, which is coming up. We just got finished the Feast of Tabernacles, the Feast of Booths. So we can remember our beginning, where we came from. The Lord showed us where we came from, and all in Leviticus, the 23rd chapter. Shalom. You want the class, sir? We have to remember that. We have to remember these things. Keep the traditions what we have been taught. Choose the old ways. Choose the old paths. That's all in the Torah, from Genesis all the way down to Deuteronomy. Keep everything in Old Testament, including the Apocrypha, including the New Testament. Our King, Yahushua Mashiach, perfection. He walked this walk. Imperfection in its entirety. So, and he was a man. Joseph was his father. Mary was his mother. We have the opportunity to do the same thing in these last days of time. Let's not waste that opportunity. Shalom. Nice to see you. We have this opportunity again to do this in the last day of time, to be perfect as our King, to follow him, follow in his footsteps. Choose the straight gate, that narrow path. Broad is the way that leads to destruction. We don't want that. We don't want to be content. We know the other half. For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, right? For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. So we all have experienced the curses. We all, because the truth wasn't here until 1969. So before that, we was all in hell. All in hell. Once 1969 hit, the truth came back on earth, and that's when the curses in this school, in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, have been lifted away. The blessings started to come back around. That peace, the security, the joy of spirit, the abundance of life, that breath of life started to come back. That is what we need to recall. Remember, Deuteronomy 28th chapter, the blessings and the curses are both in effect. One is in effect when we obey, the other is in effect when we disobey. So please, I implore you, very implore you, that to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. It's the foundation of our Constitution. Is God prefer the Most High power wants obedience rather than sacrifice. He doesn't want to hear our sorry. Christ, our King, like that. What happened to him? What happened to him? Even though it was tragedy, the Most High God, the Most High God was well pleased with how he behaved on this earth and how he took his stripes. Well pleased, and he was able to open the book, release everything that's happened on this earth. Now these plagues is destroying our oppressor's kingdom, and they fear his return, our king return. It will be a dark day indeed. Let me out whenever you're ready. Can you read Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1, Bubba Kashaw?
Come, sir. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass.
And it shall come to pass, meaning this is going to happen. This will happen. There's no way around it. We always try to get around something. Like we try to circumvent the law. Like, unfortunately, like David was the man of the Most High's own heart. Yes, he was the man of the Most High's own heart. But that woman, damn. But we can't circumvent the law. We gotta obey the law in its entirety. Go ahead.
Come. If thou shalt not hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
If thou shalt not hearken, say it again, Bubba Shaw.
If thou shalt not hearken, if thou shalt hearken diligently.
If thou shalt hearken diligently. If thou shalt hearken diligently. If we will listen diligently, continuously, always, forevermore. If we hearken, listen. If we listen to the Most High for once in our God-forsaken lives, that we listen to the Most High God, we got to stop being on his bad side and getting chastised all the time. Go ahead.
Come, sir. Unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do.
To observe. So not only we have to learn. Where do we learn his law, statutes, and commandments? We can't learn in the Christian church. We can't learn in the Muslim laws. We can't learn in the fake Israelite groups. We have to learn it in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commandant General YAHANNA. That is where the Most High God in the Christ dwell. That's where the angels dwell. That's where this kingdom's gonna get risen up at. Christ's kingdom gonna get risen up at. This is Zephaniah 2:1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired. We're not desired. Everything else on this earth is just a trap unto the nation of Israel, unto us, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native men, women, and children. They are a trap, a snare. They're trying to keep us enslaved, basically, trying to keep us in slavery for as long as possible, because they know their kingdom is going to an end. They want to destroy us completely. But there is a light, and that light is the I.S.U.P.K, which they cannot snuff out. Most High won't let it. Go ahead.
Come, sir. Unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments.
To observe and to do. So we have to observe. Not only do we have to learn, we have to do. We have to apply what we have learned. We just can't learn and be like, okay, I learned that we're not supposed to eat pork, but I'm going to eat it anyway. I learned we're not supposed to steal, but I'm going to steal anyway. No, we have to apply that. Okay, don't eat pork. I'm not going to eat pork. Solid. Don't celebrate Halloween. Okay, I'm not going to celebrate Halloween. Solid. Be brotherly toward one another. Okay, we're going to be brotherly towards one another. Solid. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Now, if your oppressor is forcing you to work, it's not on you. But if you can get off, get off. So these things is we got to keep them in our. We got to learn them and apply them. Go ahead.
Which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high.
He's going to set us on high. Don't you want to be on that top, on that hilltop, on that mountain, on high? Don't you want to be ruling the earth? Like, you rule anyway. So why not rule in righteousness? Well, we think we're ruling. We think we rule the block. We think we own the streets. We think we own this and that. We think we run this and that. But don't you want to rule the entire earth? Don't you want to have that type of power? Rule the planet, tell the heathen what to do. You know you want that. Why not earn it in these last days of time? Why not be part of the 144,000? Why not get a spot for being righteous in this kingdom in these last days of time? Go ahead, Mahayaman.
Come. Above all nations of the earth.
We will be above all nations of the earth. And the other nations, for some reason, they despise that, even though when the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. Everybody's in mourning right now. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. They're going to enjoy us being in rulership. They're going to enjoy that. But they'll rather rule. The wicked will rather rule and mourn than be servants to us and rejoice. That is crazy. But that's how they think. What Wisdom of Solomon, the second chapter, in one of those verses, let us oppress the poor righteous man. Like, why can't the wicked? That's how they think. Why can't they just leave us alone? They can't do that. They can't leave the Israelites alone, because if they leave us alone, they know we're going to be on top automatically. So they have to mess with us. They have to ensnare us and trap us, take advantage of us, because we have a God, a living power that will defend us if we obey him. They don't. Their gods, their idols, they're vain. They're nothing. They can't help it. They have nothing at their disposal. Like the Most High Power, who's in the fourth dimension, he is our power, like the creator of heaven and earth. Like that, we have power here if we obey the Most High God. We are Yahshua, Prince of the power. Just remember that, please. Now let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. There's another side of that. We need to get this other side, which we experienced in these last days of time, as you may well know. Go ahead, Mr. Miyah.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
But, see, that crucial but. Now, we know that we're going to be on high. We're going to be on high. But now is that but, that crucial but. So go ahead from but.
But it shall come to pass.
Meaning this is going to happen. This also will happen. Go ahead.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
If thou will not hearken. If we will not listen. Well, I don't understand. Why won't we do that? Why are we stiff-necked and hard-headed, Yahshua? Why do we choose to do these things? Why do we choose to go against? We chose to go against Moses in the wilderness. We didn't want to follow our King Christ when he started talking in his parables. We go against the righteous men that are above us. Why do we do this to ourselves? We got to stop that. That's a flaw within us. Go ahead.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
To observe and to do all his commandments. So when we not hearkening to observe, to do all his commandments, when we don't want to listen, when we don't want to learn, when we don't want to follow his commandments and do them and apply them, go ahead.
And his statutes. Go ahead. Which I command thee this day.
Go ahead.
That all these curses shall come upon thee.
All these curses, all these punishments that we are experiencing in these last days of time will come upon us. And we have been cursed. We've been cursed in the city. We've been cursed in the field. We've been cursed in our pockets. We've been cursed with our children, with our relationships. We've been cursed head over heels. And they go ahead, go read on.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So wherever we try to go to, it's going to follow us. And so this is us going, and this is the curses, and the curse is going to overtake us. Boom! It's like you can't escape. It's unescapable when we disobey. So, but we want those blessings to overtake us. That's what we want. We want that. We want life more abundantly. That's what we want. So we got to make sure that we keeping these laws, statutes, commandments, so we don't fall under the traps of our oppressor. Now, let's get Judith. You already know what I want. Judith chapter 5 and verse 20. Go out with them, appreciate you. Yeah, because these heathen who has a reputation of being nothing are lords over us. Like they are nothing is considered in the eyes of the Most High God. We are the chosen seed. We Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art a holy people. We the chosen seed. We're separate. We're set apart. We're for lack of better words, we're the big bad wolf. Like we're that bad man. We're the big man on campus when we obey the Lord. But Go ahead and thumb me out. Judah
Come,
chapter
come.
5 and verse 20.
It's the book of Judah, chapter 5, verse 20. Now, therefore, my Lord and governor.
Therefore, my Lord and governor. So this is a heathen talking to another heathen ruler. They having a council to discuss discuss us, Yasharala. Discuss how they want to overthrow us, how they going to come, how they going to deal with us, how they going to deal with us, so to speak. Go ahead with them, y'all.
If there be any error against this people.
So his counsel, his judgment, his counsel, his advice to this ruler was, if there be any error. So if us, Yasharala, the blacks, Hispanics, and natives, men, women, and children, if there be any error within, go ahead.
Against this people. Come. Now, therefore, my Lord and governor, if there be any error against this people.
If there be any error against this people. So if there be any error against this people. If there be any error, any iniquity, any sin, any transgression of the law, anything that goes against the Lord, Most High God, the creator of heaven and earth, if there be anything such from even the most minute of from the smallest of infractions, from even the smallest of infractions, the most mundane of infractions, the most minute, the smallest sample of pork, the smallest bite of a piece of pork in their mouths, chewing it and swallowing it down their throats. Go ahead.
Come. And they sin against their God.
And they sin against their God. Abba Nawa, our Father. Go ahead.
Let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
Let us consider that this shall be their ruin, their destruction, their demise. This will be their demise. Like, because we won't have our protection. Abba won't be there to defend us. Go. Yes, can you pass her the mic?
Salakia, what's the precept again?
Yes, the precept is Judah chapter 5 and verse 20 and 21.
Judah chapter
5 and verse 20 in the Apocrypha.
Okay, the water.
Yeah, yes. So that will be our demise. Our demise. We don't want that. Come on now. Go ahead with them, y'all.
Come. And let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
They know this about us. They have our records. They know this. They'll be able to overcome us. They'll be able to overcome us, and that'll be a dark day for us. We'll be on a run. They'll be in our neighborhoods. They'll be taking over. They'll be running things. They'll be over top of us. You know, we'll have to go to them for everything. They'll be ruling everything that we need and want. They'll own everything. We'll have nothing to our names. We have to start over again and after again from generation to generation. Everything will be destroyed within us, externally, internally. It will be so chaotic. You won't even imagine it. You don't understand how chaotic this can actually get, how deep the rabbit hole can actually get. Go ahead.
Verse 21. But if there be no iniquity in their nation.
But there's always that other but. There's always that other side of the coin. Like just how the Most High God can put us in extreme darkness, extreme mayhem, the Most High God can put us in extreme light. And we are the children. We are that vessel of honor, that vessel of mercy. The oppressor, our oppressor, the so-called the Edomites, Esau, the red man, he's red. His blood showed through his skin. Adawam, red. Esau wasted away his seed. I.S.U.P.K in Hebrew. Yes, he's that vessel of dishonor, that vessel fitted for destruction. So we just gotta remember who we are. We are the righteous. We just gotta live up to that name. Go ahead, Mathamiya. Read a little back where you was at.
But if there be no iniquity in their nation.
But if there be no iniquity in their nation. But if there be no sin, no transgression of the law. If the whole nation of the Yasharala is obeying their Abba, obeying their father, obeying Abba Nawa. It's going to be a dark day for them. Go ahead.
Sir. Let my Lord now pass by.
His advice to his Lord was like, let my Lord now pass by, because he already knew what was up. He already knew what was going to go down. Go ahead.
Lest their Lord defend them.
Unless Abba Nawa, our Father, defend us. And they know what happened to the Egyptians, those plagues. They know what happened to the Red Sea, the chariot and his rider. That is written. This actually happened. We are the people of the book. Reincarnation, regeneration is real. We are those people back then. We are back. We are those same people. Samson is among us today. David is among us today. We just don't know who we are. We just don't know who is who. Don't remember the former things. Like all those mighty men in the Bible are amongst the Israelites today. We should know that. We should know that. Go ahead.
And their God be for them.
And their God be for them. See? And our God be for us. Anything else on that, Mahayaman? Go ahead.
And we become a reproach before all the world.
And they become a reproach before all the world. They will be made an example of, just like the Egyptians. They don't want that. See, not only they will be made an example of, they will be made an example of from in front of the whole world. Public humiliation. That's funny. Most power that playing, he gonna make him an example in front of everybody. Everybody gonna know what happened to them. So from this coast to that coast, everybody gonna know what happened to these people who mess with the Israelites. Don't mess with the Israelites when they were keeping their laws, statutes, commandments. So yeah, let's go to Matthew chapter 6 and verse. Let's start at verse 12. Yeah, like our King Yahushua Mashiach, perfect example of how to be, how to walk, and then the apostles, they kept the band, they kept it alive, they kept it going. You know, Peter, Jerusalem, the apostles, they kept the banner going, kept it pushing the truth. And now in these last days of time, the I.S.U.P.K is keep pushing the truth. And that's what we gotta do. We have to fight. We gotta be that. We gotta what is it? Isaiah 58:1, cry loud and spare not, lift thy voice up like a trumpet. We gotta cry loud and spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet. We gotta speak the words of the Most High God. We gotta give our people a chance, at least an opportunity to come in through these doors. We can't just leave them by the wayside and give them at least no hope. They have to have at least a chance. Give them a fighting chance. We got to give ourselves a fighting chance because they are our brothers. They are our sisters. They are our people. Give them a fighting chance. Give them a fighting chance. Go ahead with them. Read Matthew chapter 6 and verse 12.
It's the book of Matthew chapter 6 verse 12. And forgive us our debts.
See, this is part of the Lord's Prayer, as we may know. And it says, forgive us our debts. So we want our debts to be forgiven by the Most High Power for all the wicked things that we have done. Go ahead with them, yeah.
As we forgive our debtors.
There's a condition that we ask the Most High Power, that we ask him to forgive us our debts if we forgive our debtors. So we must forgive all the infractions that have been done, that are being done, and that will be done. So the Most High God can forgive the debts that we have done unto him. Because what he said, how often shall I forgive him? What 7 times? No, 70 times 7. Always forgive your brother, especially if he comes to you and seek your forgiveness. Forgive your brother, and don't hate your brother in your heart. Don't. We can't hate our brothers in our heart. We have to love one another. We have that brotherhood towards one another again.
Right.
We do. We need that. We are a nation of people. We are all we have. The other nations do not. We ain't gonna have love nowhere else. The other nations hate us.
Right.
Like the other nations hate us. And if we hate each other, like, where are we gonna get the love from?
Right.
Where are we gonna get the love from? Like, the Most High God, Christ is up there. Like where are we gonna get the love from? And then the Most High God is mad at us or chastising us because we hating each other. So it's like we just stuck. Like we just come on now. We can't have that. We can't have a cold-hearted spirit. We gotta love our fellow man. That's what we gotta do. Let's go to 1 John. Yes, go ahead.
If I could, sir, what you're saying is so heavy. Like all these other nations, they loving each other day and night.
Right.
They, you know what I mean? They block us off from getting hired in all these stores.
Right.
They love each other and they make sure they do that first before anything.
Right.
So it's heavy what you bringing out because that's one thing. Black, Latinos, and Native Americans, we negate that because, you know,
right.
we just want to love one person and one person only, the oppressor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of loving our own, man.
Yeah.
So Salaki, are
right.
you?
Oh, that's get out of hand. That's yeah. What you said was very, very, very true. We have to love our fellow man, fellow black man, Hispanic man, Native man, woman, and child, and not love the oppressor. Definitely. The most like I hate Esau.
Right.
I hate Esau, for I hate Esau and love Jacob. Yes. Most like God hates Esau. Come on now. Let's get 1 John chapter 4 and verse 20. Baba Kushar. The Lord, oh yeah. Yes, go ahead. You can read it.
Khan. This is the book of 1 John chapter 4, verse 20. If a man say, I love God.
If a man were to come to you and say, I love God, were to say, I love God, go ahead.
And hateth his brother.
But then at the same token, he hates his brother. So he's saying he loves God, but he hates his brother. That's weird unto itself, but go ahead.
Khan. He is a liar.
Oh, scripture said he is a liar. Because you hating your brother. How can you love God and hate your brother? Like, the Most High God is not the author of confusion here. Like, the love is keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High power. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah.
Most High in Christ. Let's get it on tonight. I'll answer all of your questions in the room and out. Mi nombre es General Mahayaman. Estoy servicio de el General YAHANNA. Nosotros somos la Escuela Israelita de Conocimiento Práctico Universal. Comenzamos en 1 Oeste Calle 125, Harlem, Nueva York, desde 1969, debajo del mando, General YAHANNA. Carnales, esta es la verdad. Si tú eres hombres, español, negros o indio nativo, tú eres Israel, el pueblo elegido de Dios. Tu madre y tu padre dicen que somos un culto y mantienen su iglesia sin culpa, pero su iglesia es culpable de todo lo que nos están pasando. All right, I answer all of your questions. Haz preguntas. Any questions online?
No questions online yet, sir.
All right, well, listen here. Stand by tonight, because tonight you will find out the location of the 57th annual Passover. Clap it up right now. Oh, wait, you just stand by. You absolutely will get that announcement tonight. All right? No questions online? Let me give you something here to go over. Stand by. Yeah, it's a good one. Hold on. Let's go to Psalms 1 and 1. The book of Psalms. There you go. All right, check that out. Whenever we have a question, you can just let me know.
Yes, sir.
I'll break it down for you. Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, the 1 and verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly.
Let me tell you something. Being in the truth, right? All of us, once we find the truth, right? We have something available in our life that most of us never had, and that is wise counsel from a wise person. Most of the things you've learned in your life, you've learned from someone. You learned your name from someone. You learned how to walk and talk, and you learn what to eat and what to do from someone. The problem is that that person was not someone that was wise. That was simply the person that had sex with your mother, or that person that had sex with your father, or that person that was in your family, or that person that lived in your neighborhood, or that person that just so happened to be in your classroom, right? That person wasn't chosen because they were wise, because they were actually beneficial to you. But when you become born again and you come into the truth, now you can choose a family structure, a support system based on its righteousness, based on its wisdom. And then now you can get instruction, brother, instruction that is vital to life. Read it one more time.
Sir, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly.
Now, everyone else and you yourself, gracias, and you yourself, before you were in the truth, you walked in the counsel of the ungodly. Like those were the people that you listened to. Who else did you have? You had no one else but your mother to listen to, who had 5 abortions before she had you, and only had you because they told her that she didn't have a choice. All you had was your father, and all he did was get drunk. All he did was smoke weed or smoke crack or shoot heroin, but he's all you had. All you had was the people in your neighborhood who were just as poor as your family was poor, and that's why they lived in that neighborhood. So now they're giving you the same advice that you would get from your mother and father because they got it from theirs. And they're poor and suffering and living in the same ghetto as you. You get it from the people in school. You go to school every day. You're around them, and all of them come from homes filled with terrible parents and people who are harmful to them. So when you go to school, what do the children do to you in school? Abuse you, bully you, make fun of you. Why? Because they grew up with terrible parents just like yours. Terrible parents either make a child go to school and harm other children, or they destroy a child's self-esteem to the extent that other children harm them. That's what happens. But that is your support system. That's what you're supposed to base a life on, raise a family on, form a career on, based on your friends, the people in your school, your mother, your father. It's impossible. It's impossible. But blessed is the man that does not take counsel from the ungodly. Ungodly people cannot give you advice. They cannot tell you what to do. You got a mother, you can love your mother, but in damn near every case, your mother cannot give you advice. She cannot. And you can love her and cherish her and take care of her in her elderly years, but you cannot listen to her. She cannot guide your life. Your father, you should love your father and forgive him for any misdeeds he might have done in his ignorance. But you cannot take your father's advice. You cannot, because your father is an ungodly person. You can love your wife in some cases, your husband, but if they're ungodly, you can't listen to them. Everyone understands, right? Because if you're blessed by not having the counsel of the ungodly, then you are cursed by having the counsel of the ungodly. Everyone understand? It's a curse. Keep going.
Yes, sir. Nor standeth in the way of sinners.
Mm-hmm. It's also a blessing when you do not stand in the way of sinners. What does it mean to stand in the way of sinners? Meaning you are in the path of sinners. You're with them. You're standing in the way of sinners. This is their way, and you're one of them. You're standing with these sinners. So now because you are with these sinners, all of their curses come on you. What's the best example of that? The Christian church. My God. Have you ever been to a diner on Sunday that Christians go to? Brother, listen, I walk into a diner on Sunday and I go, everyone in here has a cane, first of all. I don't know what's going on in church that all of them are crippled. Every last one of them is in a cane or sick, and you see them just coming in the diner, wave after wave of people they can barely get in the damn diner, I go, look at y'all. Y'all living a terrible life. Like all of you are sick. All of you because of the filth that you eat and your lifestyle. Christians are just sickly and disgusting. And to hear what they talk about at those tables, I can only imagine what it's like to live in a house with someone like them. Just sitting in a restaurant with them, I can't take it. I can't just take sitting around Christians as they talk and gossip and are hateful and are absolutely self-hating. I don't know what's more racist, if I went to a Ku Klux Klan rally or dinner after church in a black church. A black church, it seems to me, is absolutely as racist against black people as a white supremacist group because they talk the same language. I mean, black Christians hate black people, hate them. And if they were white, you would just say, this is the most racist white man I've ever heard, but he's black. This is the most racist black woman I've ever heard, but this is the most racist white woman I've ever heard, but she happens to be a black woman. If you're with them, then the things that happen to them are going to happen to you. You keep going to that church. Before you know it, you'll be a child who got molested in church, and it broke your heart. It destroyed you. And if you keep going to church, you are going to molest someone in church. You're going to do it. Even though when it happened to you, it was so terrible and your mother didn't believe you and you didn't know what to do with the information and you were scared. But you just keep singing on the choir, don't you? You never stop going. You just keep going. You just keep singing and swaying back and forth and beating that stupid tambourine and getting that Holy Ghost dance, even though terrible things have happened to you in that church, but you didn't stop going. You stayed in the way of sinners. You stayed in the place with the people that molested you. You were there. Well, guess what? Well, in a little while, before you know it, you're going to do the same thing to someone that happened to you. You have to get away from sinners, which is why the Israelite School of UPK is such a sanctuary, because it provides a place of safety for people that don't want ungodly counsel, for people that don't want to be in the way with sinners. They want to change in their life sincerely. Things that drug and rehab programs only can offer to you, but really they can't give you the thing you need to never relapse, to never go back. That drug and rehab, although drug and rehab programs are very helpful to a lot of people because it gives you some form of support system that can help you get 90 days, help you get a year, help you to get a week off of drugs. But relapsing is built into the program of NA or Alcoholics Anonymous because eventually you're just going to relapse, right? Also, they teach you to smoke cigarettes in those programs because you need a little something to get off of heroin. So they encourage cigarette smoking. It helps when you're trying to fight alcoholism, which of course is going to be the venue that will lead you right back to heroin. So many things try to help you. You might go get involved in sports. Many young men do that. You grow up in a broken home, a terrible home. You get involved in sports. You're hoping that this coach will be the father figure you've always wanted. That's what you're hoping. And you go there and you try and you try. And then like Mike Tyson, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Oscar De La Hoya, you'll find out that the coach child is going to molest you too. The coach is also a child molester. Or like every child that went to Penn State from, I think, the 1970s to the 1990s, everyone was molested. You'll find out that even this football or basketball is not a place that can help you to change. And so you just grow up and you're a former basketball player who's in jail, a former football player who's in jail, a former basketball player who's addicted to drugs. It doesn't help. It doesn't help to the extent that it changes you in a permanent way. Well, the Israelite School of UPK makes permanent changes in your life. Absolutely permanent. If you adhere to them, and if you hold, and if you can screw your courage to the wall, then you don't ever have to relapse. You don't ever have to go backwards. You can be born again. Everyone understands, right? Any questions? I'm sorry, let me get the young brother in the room. You got it out.
Shalom, General. Can I get a breakdown on Ecclesiasticus 9 and 1 and 3?
Ecclesiasticus.
Come on, sir.
Is there a main question that you're asking?
I wanted to know when you were talking about the evil lessons against thyself.
No problem. Go ahead and read it.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 9 and verse 1. Be not jealous over thy wife of thy bosom.
That's a very important precept, Doc, especially when you're young coming into the truth and you're trying to learn how to deal with women. Dealing with women is, I don't know if there can be a more dangerous misunderstanding than if you don't know how to deal with women. It is extremely dangerous, right? So the Bible is full of precepts like this one to teach you how to relate to women, how to handle women, all right? So it says, be not jealous. Keep going.
Be not jealous over thy wife of thy bosom.
Over the wife of thy bosom, meaning this woman is in your heart. That's what it means when it says she's in your bosom, that she has your heart. You love her, but do not be jealous over her. Now, the Bible says that God is a jealous God. So that might be confusing. I will help you to relieve yourself of that confusion. Be not jealous over the wife of thy bosom. Keep going.
And teach her not evil lessons against thyself.
And teach her not an evil lesson against thyself, meaning against you. This is the scenario or the context. You have a woman, right? But this woman is a whore and you love her, which if it hasn't happened to you, it will, unless you listen to the Israelite school of UPK. You will absolutely fall in love with some woman that has sex with everyone, that had sex with all of your best friends, that had sex with everyone in high school, that had sex with everyone on Instagram. But you will love her and never want to let her go. And because of that, when she flirts with other men, when you find other men in her inbox, when you see that she's talking to other men, when she brings up her ex, that's a tool of a slut. Any slut that says, my ex, I could call him tomorrow. Other men will look at me. Other men will give me attention. Why don't you? You know, my ex, my child's father. Yeah, he's coming over tomorrow to see his kids and I'll talk to him. Any woman that brings up another man to make you jealous, the minute you show her you're jealous, then she is going to continue to do it. It's like it's human nature, Rock. You're giving her a positive effect for doing a negative thing. Do you understand? So if I have a dog and I tell the dog sit and I give him a treat, then the dog is going to sit more and more. If the dog bites me and I give him a treat, then the dog is going to bite me all day. Well, guess what you're doing with that slut wife you have? You are encouraging her to talk to other men. It's an encouragement. You find she's talking to men in her Instagram or whatever, things like that. You know what you do? You go, maybe I'm not spending enough time with her. Maybe I got to spend more time with her. Do you know what that means? If you start to spend more time with her, you have just taught her that finding out that she's talking to other men, she'll get to see you more. She'll get to see you more. You'll say, my wife, she's talking to her ex, man, all nasty on the phone. It's probably because I got other women. It's probably because I'm not paying enough attention to her. Here's some flowers, baby. Let me try to keep my family together. Let me make up with you. If you bring those flowers in that house, if you try to keep your family together, you have just given her a positive result of doing a negative thing. And brother, that inbox is going to be filled. Do you understand? You can't do that. You can't hang on to a whore. Don't try to hang on to her. Don't. She's in your heart. You love her. But then you find out that she's a slut. You go in her phone, which is a terrible thing to have to do. But if you have to do it, Lord be with you. Or you go in her Instagrams or Facebookings or whatever, social media, and you find out she's talking to her baby's father. She's in your heart. You love her. Walk away. Leave her. Leave her. You got 10 kids with her. Leave her. Do you understand? Leave her. Do not let your son look up every day. You found out she's talking to other men, right? You found out about it. Your wife gets drunk all the time, and when she gets drunk, she gets sloppy, and she hangs on other men, or she talks to other men, or she's in her car talking to men. You found out, didn't you? Well, your son is going to find out. Don't you understand that? He lives with her. Your son is going to catch his mother talking to other men. He's going to find out. Your daughter is going to find out. They're going to know. They're going to say, where's mommy going? Mommy was on the phone. She goes into the bathroom to hide to talk to those men. Well, the daughter is going to hear mommy talking to other men. And she's going to look at you every day like, my daddy is not a man. Look at my daddy. Look at him while my mommy cheats on him. Now your children will look at you like you're a cuckold, like you're some filthy victim of some slut. Your children will have more respect for you if you left her. Then now your children, whenever it comes up, why'd you leave out the house? Well, baby, sit down and I'll tell you why I left. Because your mother was having sex with other men. And I'm a man, and I can't do anything like that. I can't be with a woman like that. And young man, I pray that you will never either. And young woman, I pray you will never be the kind of woman that has sex with other men. You shouldn't be like your mother. You should love your mother. But your mother can never give you counsel. Your mother is a sinner. So don't be like her. You can have that talk with your daughter if you leave. But if you stay, and if you go, but I want to keep the family together. And why do you want to keep the family together? Who knows why? Because your father left. He left. And so you'll let your wife have sex with other men. You'll say, we're gonna keep the family together because you don't want to be like your father who left, do you? After your wife cheats on you, then I want you to ask yourself a vital question. Why do you think your father left your mother? Who wants to blow my mind with the answer? Come on, microphone.
Because she cheated.
Because she cheated on your father. That's why he left. And then you'll go, my father isn't such a bad guy. He isn't such a villain. He left to keep his huevos, to keep his integrity. That's why he left. That's why he had to leave. I get it now. I don't hate him anymore. I'm not angry at him anymore. I can talk to him and feel mercy on him. Because what man would stay with a woman that's doing this? And to feel that feeling of being a cuckold and being an effeminate man for another man. No. Your wife cheats on you, whores on you. Don't teach her to whore on you. Don't teach her to do it by treating her better because you want to keep her, because she's in your heart. Let that slut go. Let that bitch go. Adios. Everyone understands. That's that. Rest assured, if you're in the Israelite school of UPK, there are other women that will have you with honor. That's a beautiful thing. You know how wonderful it is, how glorioso it is to leave a woman because she's a whore, and the Most High God give you two women who will never whore on you, never cheat on you, never betray you. You'll be sitting back like a winner. You'll feel that feeling of I'm a winner. And then guess what happens after a while? Your ex or your baby's mother, she contacts you on social media. She contacts you. And she done moved on to that new man. And guess what happened with him? Take a guess. Blow my mind.
He's cheating on her.
And what happens when he cheats on her?
He's worse than you.
He's worse than you, and the relationship is over. She's not even with him anymore. This cat that she was talking to in the bathroom, this cat she was sneaking, and making you feel like he was a better man than you. She's not even with him anymore. Now she contacts you on Instagram, and now she wants to talk, but she is blocked on social media. Her smoke signals are blocked. You understand? So she lights up a flare. You don't see it. She burns a bush. You never saw it. Everyone understands. Próximo.
This is from Officer Eliza. Shalom, Adawan. If I could, what is the best way to get a homosexual to change from being gay, is there any record of people changing sexual preference?
Absolutely. People absolutely can change sexual preferences. People can change anything. Let me tell you what the white man has realized, something that the Bible has known for years, right? The white man realizes now that being an alcoholic is genetic. It's genetic. There's a genetic gene in alcoholics that predisposes them to have a lust for alcohol that is almost impossible to fight. Alcoholics, like in many cases, they translate alcohol into calories. You know what I mean by that? Meaning alcohol is their food. Their body does not process food the way yours and mine does. Their body processes alcohol the way your body processes food. So asking them to stop drinking is like asking you to never eat again. It's the same thing, because that is how their body processes alcohol. You see those ones that get real skinny, those alcoholics, and they're skinny and frail, and all they do is drink. That's their food, alcohol. Now, yet they can stop drinking. Yet they can. They absolutely can. There is no alcoholic that cannot be delivered from alcohol, although they have a profound pain. Olvidarlo profundo. Although they have deep pain, and alcohol does not make it go away, they absolutely can give up alcohol. Though their father was an alcoholic, their grandfather was an alcoholic. You're trying to give up marijuana and drugs. Your mother was a drug addict. Your grandmother was a drug addict. Yet you can give up drugs. It's difficult, but you absolutely can. Tanto tiempo. For so long, everyone in your family has been on drugs. Yet one day, once you hit rock bottom and you make the conscious decision that the pain of drinking is worse than the pain of not drinking, the pain of getting high is worse than the pain of not getting high. Once you make that decision, you'll be free from drugs and alcohol. And if a man or a woman can be free from an addiction that they will sell their children for. Don't you know crack cocaine, a cocaine habit, brother? Women sold their children. Do you know who knows what I'm talking about? They sold their kids for men to have sex with. They sold the Similac, the baby formula that the child needed to survive. They broke into cars and had sex with men, and men had sex with other men for cocaine. Yet they can stop. Well, if someone can give up a drug that makes them sell themselves and sell their children, then a man or a woman can give up their sexual preference. They absolutely can. You can give up anything. You can change anything about yourself. Or else, why are we telling these drug addicts that they can get off of cocaine? You know what heroin does to a person, Ak? Do you know the need of heroin and how strong that is, Ak? The need of heroin is so strong, society doesn't even tell you to get off heroin. They put you on methadone. That's how powerful heroin is. Instead of saying, listen, quit heroin, a doctor will not say that. A doctor will say, don't quit heroin. Because what will happen if you quit heroin cold turkey? Who knows what will happen? If you haven't been exposed to this, I congratulate you. You die. You die from just saying, I'm getting off of heroin. I'm not taking heroin anymore. The withdrawal symptoms that your body goes through, you could die. You could have a heart attack and die. So what does a wise doctor say? Don't quit heroin. Scale down on methadone. Get on a methadone program. Methadone is a small amount of heroin. And each week you come back to get some, they put a smaller amount of heroin in your methadone, smaller amount of it. So you wean yourself off of heroin. That's how powerful heroin is. You don't even get off it. You wean yourself off it. Can you get off of heroin? Absolutely you can. Then you can stop being a homosexual. because you're not going to die if you stop being a homosexual, but you could die from giving up heroin. You could die. Yet you do it nonetheless. Why? Why does a person give up heroin? Why does a person give up cocaine when they sold their children for it? Imagine the women you're asking to give up cocaine. Some woman that let a man molest her daughter because this man had money. And so she let the man go into her child's bedroom. Yet you're telling her, give that up now. Why does she? Because it has hurt her to the extent that she can take it no more. She can't do it another day. And she can give it up. And if you're a homosexual or a lesbian, you can change. You can give it up. You can kick the habit of homosexuality. I pray you understand. That's your question, huh? Sí. Claro que sí.
Yes, sir.
Anything else?
Khan. This is from Natazar Gabar. Slakia, General, if I may, with your grace, may I get a general breakdown of Psalms chapter 25, verses 21 through 22.
No problem, Mark. I'd be happy to. Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 21. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 25, and verse 21. Let integrity and uprightness preserve me, for I wait on thee. Verse 22.
Read one more time.
Let integrity and uprightness preserve me, for I wait on thee.
One more time.
Let integrity and uprightness preserve me.
There you go. Let integrity and read one verse above it.
Khan, verse 20. Oh, keep my soul and deliver me. Let me not be ashamed, for I put my trust in thee.
Damn right. That's an important precept to understand. You said not as I asked this question, right?
Yes, sir.
Not as I. That's an important question to understand when you're in the truth. Because when you're in an evil world and you decide to become a righteous person, you can be embarrassed for being righteous. Right? You can be like, you'll be ashamed of it. You'll be ashamed that you're not getting high. My God, I can only imagine what you young brothers go through. If you hang around young people in the world and you don't get high, your uncle must be looking at you like you're half a homo because you're not getting high. When you don't have sex with whores, when you won't have sex with a woman if she says she has a man, your cousins must think you're half a homo for not doing it. You women, forget about it. Women in the Israelite school of UPK, they go through hell a lot. They go through hell. Why? Because every woman in their life calls them stupid because their husband has other women. They're stupid. Look at you being stupid for him. You letting him be with other women. Her mother calls her stupid. All her sisters call her stupid. All of her friends that she used to trust call her stupid and ignorant. They're all single. Did I forget to tell you that? Every last one of them. But she's an idiot for staying with that man. She's dumb for doing it, right? And because of it, sometimes you can be embarrassed. You can be ashamed. Read the precept one more time.
Yes, sir. From 20, sir?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. Oh, keep my soul and deliver me. Let me not be ashamed, for I put my trust in thee.
Damn right. Let me not be ashamed. But when I don't smoke weed and I don't have sex with whores and prostitutes I meet on Instagram, and when I'm a woman that can wear a dress without being ashamed to wear a dress. Were you aware, but some of y'all that women are going through that in the UPK? They go around other women up and they have a long dress on and they go, what are you dressed like that for? He got you dressing like that? He got you dressing like that? Look at how a woman is ashamed to wear a long dress. She goes out with her friends and she's not dressed like a whore. She's ashamed of not showing her breasts. She's ashamed of being shamefaced, ashamed of having some dignity and decorum and class. Let me not be ashamed, Lord. Let a woman be able to have a long dress on and to not be a whore and to not have to feel ashamed about it. God damn, ask God for that blessing. Keep going.
Verse 21. Let
Please.
integrity.
Popo otra vez, please. Perdóname. Salaki.
Let integrity and uprightness preserve me.
Let what?
Let integrity and uprightness preserve
Yeah,
me.
while if you're a woman, while your friends and your mother are telling you you need to, wear a shorter skirt, you need to, get high, you need to cheat on your husband because he's cheating on you. Let integrity preserve you. Now, because you have integrity, you'll be able to get through this evil world, and your friends are not going to get through this evil world. Being in the Israelite school of UPK has so many benefits in abundance. But there's one obvious flaw with being in the Israelite school of UPK. One obvious negative part about being in this school is that if you are a member of the Israelite school of UPK, you're going to have to go through a lot of funerals. A lot of them. Oh, yeah. You're going to see all your high school friends die. You're going to see all your family members die. You're going to get a phone call after phone call. You hear little Nikki die. You hear Big Reggie die. You hear Sister So-and-so is dead. And they shot Riri yesterday outside of the basketball center. And every time you'll go, what? Oh, man, I'm sorry for that. Lord be with the brother. Okay, you hang up. Ring. And Sister So-and-so died. This sister died. Oh, I'm sorry for that. Being in the Israelite school of UPK means that eventually you will get survivor's remorse because you're going to watch everyone around you that did not come into the UPK die. That's what happens. Time after time, you'll see all these people. They'll go before you. They'll go and you will not. Integrity will preserve you. You'll have integrity and you'll live. Everyone understands. Go ahead.
For I wait on thee.
For I what?
For I wait on thee.
You're waiting on the Most High God. You know that you're in an evil world right now. You have to be in a world now where wearing a long dress makes you the outcast. And being a man who is masculine and who will not have sex with a whore makes you an outcast, right? Being a man who does not beat a tambourine in church makes you an outcast. You have to be here for now, but I will wait on thee. I know that one day my king will return. And when he returns, righteousness returns with him. Then the way that I am will be the standard for everyone to be.
Right.
Everyone. I'll wait on that. For now, I'll be hated. For now, I'll be looked at like I'm in a cult. For now, I'll be a cult leader. For now, I'll do it. No problem. I'll wait. Lo entiendes. Go ahead.
This is from UPK Kaash. Shalom, Lord in Christ, my Lord.
Please.
What is the most effective way to conquer fear, especially in your child?
In your childhood, meaning when you're a child? See if you can elaborate that.
Especially in your child.
In your child. Okay, to alleviate fear in your child. Okay. There are many precepts on it. For time's sake, I'm going to sum them all up, right? You are going to have to face your fear, and your child has to face his fear. There's a therapy, right, that's called immersion therapy, right? There are people that are afraid of some crazy things. There are people that are afraid of teddy bears. Some people are afraid of snakes, and to the point that they cannot sit on a toilet because they think that a snake is going to come out that hole in that toilet and bite them where the sun does not shine. And they cannot sit on a toilet. I'm not joking. Like, there are some fears that are overwhelming. Like, you might think I have a fear of snakes. I got a fear of mice. I got a fear of, anything. And you might think it's just a fear. But imagine that fear where it is so terrifying that you cannot sit on a toilet. You cannot get out of your bed at night because a mouse might be there. You've never seen one since you've lived in the place, but it could be there. So you cannot get out of the bed. You're scared to move out of your bedroom, scared to get off of your bed, terrified. Now, there's other ones where you're afraid of stuffed animals, afraid of aluminum foil. Do you understand me? Am I exaggerating? I am not. Years ago, A brother in the truth showed me some video of this show called Maury Povich, and people would come on this show and they were terrified of like aluminum foil, styrofoam, cotton balls. I mean, just crazy. You can find that. The brothers can find it for you. And I remember going, I was so young in the truth. I remember going, God damn, how in the hell is that even possible? Well, all of these childhood fears that emerge, that are so cemented in your mind when you become an adult, they happen in childhood. In childhood, something happened with a mouse. Something happened with a snake when you were a child. And because you are young and impressionable, it cements in your mind in a very self-destructive way. And it becomes a fear that means you cannot navigate life with this fear. You can't move with this fear. So alleviating this fear in a child is important, because if you allow this child to keep this fear, when he or she becomes an adult, they will not be able to get a job because of this fear. Years ago, right, I used to work in this place. It was an institution for mentally disabled people. So I'm working in this place, right? And so every day I got to sit with these people in this place who have, all schizophrenia, terrible bipolar disorder, right? A myriad of diseases. I was in there one day, I'm talking to the sister trying to get her information, and she took off her maxi pad, her feminine napkin, and hurled it at me. And I ducked like it was a bullet. I'll never forget it, because I said, no, like I was being shot at. Whew. The woman came in a few days later and she said, "Oh, Mr. So-and-so, I'm so sorry for my behavior that day." She talked to me like she had dropped a cup of coffee. "Mr. So-and-so, I was just not thinking clearly that day. I just want to give you my sincerest apologies." And I remember thinking, boy, it's something in how you can turn that would throw a feminine napkin at you into being totally different. And it intrigued me. It intrigued me to get deeper into, how do you switch someone's brain like that? How do you do that? And it intrigued me so. And I remember telling Commanding General YAHANNA about it that night. Well, one day it was this cat, I forget his name, so I'm doing the same thing with him, right? And he's talking to me, and he said, and I'm looking at him, and he sounds so normal. He's talking to me so normal. I'm listening. I'm like, damn, what is he doing in here? Why is he in here? And so I look at his chart, and I see that he's in here. He has, oh my God, obsessive compulsive disorder, right? And I said, well, tell me about, your history with this illness. How'd you find out you had it? He said he was a freshman in college. He had planned to become a doctor. And one day he had his own apartment in college. So one day he turned the stove off, left the room, locked the door, went to class. And as he's sitting in class, he's thinking, did I turn the stove off? Did I turn the stove off? Shit, I can't remember. Did I turn the stove off? And he had to leave class to go make sure the stove was off. Then he went back and he said, did I lock the door? Shit, I locked the door. He had to leave class to make sure he locked the door. And this kept happening. It kept happening, where he was so afraid that his apartment was going to catch on fire, someone was going to break in, that he had to do things to make sure that nothing bad happened. So then he says, when I go to the stove, I can't just turn it. I have to make sure it's off. So what will I do? I'll turn it 12 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I go to the door. I got to make sure it's locked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm walking down the steps. I got to make sure that the bottom door is locked. I'll turn the knob. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He said he had to drop out of college. He dropped out because he could not leave the house at all. And I'm sitting there listening to him. I'm listening. Then the driver of his bus came to pick him up. And he said, and the woman came in, the bus driver, dropped him off to their house. And she said, "Mr. Stanley, we only got 2 minutes. We got to go. Mr. Stanley, they waiting in the bus." He said, "I'm sorry, Mr. So, I got to go." you the bar. Just like that. And then he ran outside, and the woman said, I just tell him that we're late so he can do it fast, because I know he has to do it. So I always lie to him and tell him we got to leave, because I know he has to bang. He went over to the exit sign and tapped it 12 times. He went over to the table, hit it 15 times. He went over to the door, turned the door knob, and I'm watching him go, oh, shit, I got to run, and got in the bus. And I thought to myself, what a hell to live in. That is a hell to live in. That's a hell. He is a prisoner in his own fear. He's terrified of what will happen if he doesn't touch that exit sign. What will happen? His mother will die if he doesn't touch it 10 times. A child will die if he doesn't tap the table 15 times. If he doesn't cross his fingers, what will happen? If he doesn't do this, what will happen? Do you understand? Please, Matamyad, get the microphone.
He might die or something like that.
He might die, right? So he gotta cover himself in the blood of Jesus. He has to do it. Come on, I gotta do it. I gotta do it for Peter and the apostles, and for Paul and for Mary, on the baby Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Nah, you cannot live in fear. You can't. Fear will only live. I pray you understand. So yes, if you're a child, then you're a parent, you better help your child face irrational fears. Fears that aren't real. Fears that he has to face to see they're not real. Immersion therapy is a kind of therapy where if you're afraid of napkins, you do this. You go, and you hold the napkin in your hand. You hold it. And every day you come back and hold it again. That's what you have to do. You immerse yourself in your fear, right? You immerse yourself. You're afraid of cats. You get to the point that you hold a cat and you pet a cat. Now, sometimes you have to, get to it slowly. You got to sometimes look at a picture of a cat, You just have to look at a picture of a cat. You keep looking at a picture of a cat until one day you can be in the room with a cat, until one day you can pet a cat, until one day you can hold a cat. You understand? That's immersion therapy. Officer, please.
I got a precept, sir, and I got the video.
Please.
Precept first, sir.
Please.
This is the book of 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 7. For God have not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind.
Forget about it. That's the perfect precept. Perfect precept. Show them the video.
Yes, sir.
Any more questions while we're waiting?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
You want the video first, sir?
Yeah, play the video, please.
What? There are no olives here. There are no olives here. Olives?
Please, no door.
All right, wait a second. Let me ask you something. My God, you're holding onto my hand and you're going to pull it off. Sally. Black olives or green olives? Any kind?
Here.
Doesn't matter. Okay. Why olives?
Because they remind me of dead people.
Why do they remind you of dead?
My grandfather sat up in his coffin and looked at me when he died.
And so he looked up at you when he died?
With green eyes.
With green eyes?
With a black in them.
How old were you when this happened?
7.
7. And you really believe that your grandfather came right up out of his coffin and he had green eyes?
did.
And ever since then, you've been scared of olives? Do you eat olives?
No, I can't even come down the aisle.
Okay. Now, you can't even go down the aisle of a grocery store? Mary, you won't let go of me.
Oh, yeah.
Bring out the olives.
Somebody needed to whoop Maury Povich ass. One of these days, Maury Povich needed his ass whooped for about 30 years. So you're afraid of olives? You're scared of olives? Bring out the olives. Maury Povich, he was a terrible human being. Microphone, go ahead.
My cousin, so I used to watch Maury religiously. I'll tell you this, General.
always thought that those cameramen had incredible stamina.
The cameraman wore sneakers. That's for damn sure. Because they had to run. You're afraid of olives. Your grandfather had green eyes. Okay. Bring out the olives. Well, you hear what she said. She said her grandfather died. He had green eyes. And she, as a 7-year-old, saw the green eyes on her grandfather in the casket. That's it, brother. That's what happens. It always stems from your childhood, from that young, impressionable age. A lot of you people that think you're homosexual, you think you're gay, all you are is a victim at an impressionable age, at an age when someone else decides your sexuality. Your child molester touched you at 6 or 7. And so now because of that, you think you're gay. You think you're born this way. No, you were born with a child molester as an uncle. That's what you were born as. You were born with a child molester as a stepfather. That's what you were born as. They took it from there. I pray you understand. All right. Is there anything else? Any other questions?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, you died. Please. Mm-hmm.
Now, before I say, I know the answer to this question, but I need you to answer it general.
I totally get it.
Because a few brothers came to me and asked me this, and I said I'll ask for you. They
Please.
wanted to know if it was tawab for them to teach on either Monday or Thursday while you're teaching.
Yes. Yes, they absolutely can. That doesn't matter to me at all. I don't know any teacher that would matter at. You teach every goddamn day. Teach all the time. Teach at the same exact time I'm teaching. I do not care in any way. Now, I don't know what, your camp leader, I don't know what city you're over if they care. But absolutely, I encourage you to teach on Monday and Thursday. Teach all you want. Your success, brother, I pray for daily. We share in success in here. They can watch this class or watch yours. If they come into the truth, they'll be with both of us. It's all the same to me. It means nothing to me at all. I encourage it, if that was your question. No problem. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. This is from C. Ellis. Can we get a breakdown of Revelation chapter 12 and verse 9?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
This is the book of Revelation chapter 12 and verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil.
Yeah, this precept is speaking about our oppressor, the so-called white man, who we call in the UPK our oppressor when the internet began. Our oppressor, he is the great serpent, he is the old serpent, the great dragon. He's called a serpent because he lies. The word devil means deceiver in Latin, deceiver. All right, diablo, deceiver. That's why he's called a serpent, because he lied to Eve in the garden. That old serpent, the reason he's the old serpent is because he is from the beginning, from Genesis, and due to him and Eve and their bond that they made, her being stupid enough to want so much power that she could believe someone that's a liar like him, that covenant that they made is how death came into this world. Our oppressor and our women. That's where death comes from. All right. He's the old serpent because he's such a liar. He's that great dragon, great because he has power. He's so powerful. Now, boy, when I broke this scripture down when I was an officer of 50, I would talk about the stealth bomber. How the stealth bomber is literally a flying predator. Then years later, they came out with the predator drone, right? That's a dragon, a flying reptile that rains fire down from the sky. Now, there's no one even in the plane now. That's how much of a dragon he is. He's so much of a dragon that there's no one even in that plane. You had all those UFO sightings, white people going crazy because all of these strange spacecraft in the sky going at these amazing speeds and flying at these amazing angles. Well, there's no person in it, so it can fly at any angle and speed at once because there's no one even in that plane. He's a dragon. He's a flying predator, and he destroys you when you're on the ground. Everyone understand? That's why his military might is what it's speaking about when it calls our oppressor the great dragon. his might and ability to lie is what it's speaking about when he's called the devil. They're the same person, our oppressor. All right. Is there anything else?
Yes, sir. Sir.
Please.
And Satan, which deceiveth the whole world.
What else is he called? Satan. Why is he called Satan? Because his coming is after the doing and the work of Satan. If an oppressor is in your life, if an oppressor is in your life guiding you, Satan is guiding you. Satan is in your life because he works for Satan. That's his goal and his intent, to work for Satan, to be the tempter in your life, to be the one that tempts you into drugs, that tempts you into division, that tempts you into sin. That's his job, because that is Satan's job, and every oppressor represents Satan, Shaitan in the Hebrew. Anything else?
And he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
Boy, in this vision, which must have been glorious, he saw this devil, this dragon, be cast out into the earth. So imagine a big castle, and this person is in this castle. All of a sudden, the door opens up, and someone just takes them by their belt and their shirt and throws them out the castle into the dirt. Imagine a dragon in the sky, and he's destroying everyone from the sky. All of a sudden, he's thrown out of his perch in the sky and comes crashing to the earth. Este es un día glorioso. What a glorious day. That's what John saw in his vision. That represents our oppressor losing his authority, losing his power, losing his military might, losing the prestige that helps him to convince people that what he says is true, though it be a lie. That's what this precept is about. Everyone understands. Anything else, please?
Yes, sir. Next question, sir.
Please.
This is from
Dion page 8999. Can my son and I serve the school with mostly online and sometimes in class?
Well, there's absolutely situations that might call for you to serve the school online. What you want to do is contact your camp leader, the camp leader or the captain in your city, and let him know what your situation is. You might have a particular situation. Some brothers are in prison. Some brothers can't leave. They're in a halfway house or a program where they cannot come to class. Some sisters are in programs like that, right? There might be some reason why you cannot come to class. What you want to do is contact your camp leader, and he will tell you if that is an acceptable reason. However, let me warn you of one thing. If you are watching the Israelite School of UPK online and your son is watching online, he's not around the brothers in the school, and that can be fine. But I would question you on who he is around, because he's not around us, and that's okay. But is he around them? Does he go to school every day? He doesn't come to the UPK, your son. But does your son go to high school? Because then he is around them. Oh, and that's quite dangerous, because now he's not around us, and we're fine with that. It's okay. But the school says, no, your son has to come to school. He has to sit at that desk. Then that means your son is going to be around the people who will molest him, the girls who will seduce him into getting them pregnant, the boys who will seduce him into having sex with them. Your daughter is around them. She's not around us, and that's fine. But who is she around? If you're not coming to class, who are you around? Are you around your wife, your family, your mother, your father, the people on your job? Are you sitting all day in a truck with some cat who gets high? Are you doing that? You're not around us, and that's okay. But are you sitting next to some drug addict all day? You're around him, and your job says you have to sit in that truck, and you do it. See, many of us, you have an option to not come to class. You have an option to watch the school online and not sit in a chair, not come to High Holy Days, not come to the 57th annual Passover, which will be in Stand by for Commanding General Yohanna's class. He'll bring it out up there. Clap it up for Commanding General Yohanna. Tonight, immediately after this class, Commanding General Yohanna will tell you where the 57th annual Passover will be. It was hard work. It took great diligence, by so many brothers and sisters to achieve this goal, the goal of the Passover every year, and to do it on the exact right date. It's a terrible undertaking, terrible to go through for you. And Commanding General Yohanna does it with pleasure. Well, tonight, Commanding General Yohanna will announce where the 57th annual Passover will be. You might think you don't have to come to the Passover. You watch class online, and that's okay. But your son goes to school with those drug addicts and drug dealers and gay people and those teachers that are going to molest him and those girls and those boys. You go to work every day on your job, right? With Jimmy and them. And they getting high on their lunch break. And they're smoking. And that girl who you talk to every day, you're becoming her work husband. You know that, right? You're becoming her work husband. You laughing and going to lunch with her. She has a man. But you see her every day, don't you? Right? So you're not around us. I would just be careful with the people you are around, because you might need to be around us so that you can be stronger when you're around them. That's just my fatherly advice. Oro por tu entendimiento. Próximo.
Yes, sir.
Please.
When we were just at Revelation 12 and 9, I think I had a precept for that, if I may, sir.
Please.
This is the book of John, chapter 12 and verse 31.
Mm-hmm.
Now is the judgment of this world. Now shall the prince of this world be cast out.
Forget about it. That's absolutely a precept. Tawato. And you can give them Thessalonians, I think 6 or 12, where it says, whose coming is after the work and the something of Satan. That's another good precept. That one you pulled is an excellent precept. All right. Is there anything else?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
We got one from I.S.U.P.K.
I.S.U.P.K. Good to hear from you, warrior. Go ahead.
Shalom, Lord in Christ. Could you ask the general what is our official stance on so-called Negroes being indigenous to America? I have some silly Negroes watching the water, sir.
Well, silly Negroes, I'm happy to have you in here tonight. Let me help you out. I believe he's talking about foundational Black Americans. Is that what he means, Jediah? Probably. Go ahead. Microphone.
Not only them, sir.
Mm-hmm.
There is a set of Negroes that believe that they're the real Native Americans.
And what are they based that on?
They get high, General.
They get high. That's what I thought. Give him a hand. I don't know. I have never heard of that. Okay, till just now, right? I've never heard of so-called Black people thinking that they were the actual Native Americans. I've never heard of that. I don't know anything about it, okay? This much I will tell you, that you have to get off of that dope, and you've got to stop smoking weed. You've got to stop. So many brothers and sisters, you think that you can understand a thing without being the kind of person that can discern a lie between the truth. That is, okay, to even know the truth, you have to become the kind of person that can differentiate a lie from the truth. And that is a kind of person. There's a person that can do it, and there's a person that cannot do it. To be simple, there are so many Bible precepts that are saying what I'm saying. I'm going to condense them all to you so you can digest it well. Children do not know what is a lie, and they do not know what is true. Children think that Santa Claus is true. Why? Because someone told them that Santa Claus is real. Children think that the tooth fairy is true. Why? Because someone told them, if you put a tooth under your pillow, you come back, you see $1. And guess what? They lift up the pillow and there's a damn dollar under there, and the tooth is gone. So a child says, that's the evidence. I got the evidence. The tooth fairy is real. I did the research. I researched the tooth fairy. I did. I had a tooth that fell out my head. I put the tooth under the pillow. Just like my mommy said, she said that there would be $1 the next day. I did the research, Yediah. I did the research. I put a tooth under my pillow. I come back the next day, the tooth is gone, and there's $1. The tooth fairy is real. I did the research. That's you on the internet. I did the research. How can you know how to research? You don't know how to research. You did the research that a child does by looking under his motherfucking pillow. You don't know how to research anything. You're a child. Well, who can discern the truth from a lie? A grown man. You have to grow up. Now, here's the problem. To grow up, you would have to have discipline, restraint, because that's what men have and children don't. Discipline, restraint. You don't have it because you're a drug addict. You smoke weed. You cannot get off of weed. You have to get high. You must get high. Then you're a child. You need candy for dinner, right? You have to have candy. You must have Kool-Aid. You have to go outside. You have to play. You have to play video games until your eyes bug out your head. While you're high, you're a child. You're a kid. You research on the internet the way a child looks under its pillow for the tooth fairy. You're not a man. Now, in the Israelite school of UPK, we are grown men. We don't have the deficiencies and the sicknesses and the weaknesses that you have. So because of that, we see the tricks that a mark like you will never notice. You thought wrestling was real, didn't you, back in the day? I know you did. I know you did. You knew. I remember being a 12-year-old or 11-year-old. I told my father, I said, listen, wrestling is real. I remember telling him. He said, come on, wrestling is not real. I said, they got the blood. The blood is running down the face. He said, wrestling is not real. I said, this man don't know what the hell he's talking about, man. I don't even know what he's talking about. Wrestling ain't real. I was a kid. You understand? I was a kid, and he was grown. Well, in the Israelite school of UPK, we're grown, and you're a drug addict, weed addict, video game addict, whore addict, Instagram addict child. We'll tell you what's true, young man. You just have the sense to listen. Yediah.
What you're saying is so heavy. I had that same conversation with my father. I said, Dad, wrestling is real. The Undertaker got buried alive. This nigga dead.
Come on now. I did the research.
I did the research.
Isn't that the saying, Yediah? That's what they all say. I did the research. Dad, I did the research. Wrestling is real. The Undertaker got into the coffin. I did the research. All right, that's all I can do for you. All right. I don't know. I've never heard of this nonsense, but so-called black people, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Indians, your homeland is Israel, Jerusalem. Right. You are a native of Israel, a native of the Middle East. Every place else is a place that we came along our travels of captivity and destruction. Even the so-called Native Americans did not start here. This is not the land of the Native Americans, but they have simply been here longer than anyone else. But the homeland of the Cherokee, of the Blackfoot, of the Apache, their homeland is Israel. That's their homeland, all right? That we can prove. We've done the research. We've done the research. Is there anything else? Please, please, Sakia, Corporal Travis.
This from Benzo.
Let me see, young brother. Did you have a question right here, Rob? No problem. Go ahead.
This from Benzo.
The what?
Sir, any advice on battling antisocial behavior?
Yeah, well, let me just define antisocial behavior for everyone. Antisocial behavior is like stealing, lying, hurting people, fighting when you go to a bar, right? Many of you cannot come to the 57th annual Passover, which Commandant General YAHANNA will announce the location and date of the Passover tonight during his show immediately after this class. You can't come to the Passover because you have antisocial behavior. You can't go around people. If you're around people, you are going to get into a conflict because you're going to offend them violate them. You're going to do it. Stealing is antisocial. Salaki, gracias. Give me some more antisocial behavior. Maybe Alexa can give me a more definite definition. Alexa, what is antisocial behavior?
According to Wikipedia, antisocial behaviors, sometimes called dissocial behaviors, are actions which are considered to violate the rights of or otherwise harm others by committing crime or nuisance, such as stealing and physical attack, or non-criminal behaviors such as lying and manipulation. Alexa, stop. That's, I believe, what I just said, right? If you steal, how do you come to the 57th annual Passover? You're going to steal someone's purse. You're going to steal someone's, Alexa, stop. You're going to steal someone's cover. You're going to touch one of the children, molest one of the kids at the Passover. Don't do that. I pray you understand. Don't do anything like that. All right? Don't steal at the 57th annual Passover. Lying is antisocial behavior. I just said it just now. Alexa just said it, lying. If you lie, then that's antisocial. No one can trust you. And there is a social bond, a social covenant that we all join in for the sake of being with each other. Or you can be like one of those MAGA men who live out in the woods and hunt deer all day, covered in deer urine. They don't see people. Or one of these old preppers, like them idiots that left the truth years ago. They go out in the damn woods and with a dog and do nothing but are around chickens and one or two women that they beat daily as routine. Here's your 5 o'clock beating, wife. That's where you belong, because you cannot be around people. To be around people, we join in a social covenant. The Bible calls them the laws, statutes, and commandments. That's our social covenant. To be with each other. We now agree that we're not going to lie to each other. We're not going to steal from each other. If I sell you a silk garment, it is not mingled with a lesser fabric. It is silk. If I sell you this material, it is that material, because we can't have businesses if I mingle fabrics, because then I cheat you, and then now we fight, kill each other, go to war with each other over me cheating you, right? It's a social agreement. It's a covenant that we share with each other. Antisocial behavior are things that break that covenant. Lying, cheating, stealing. You can't, if you have sex with other men's women, you cannot be social, because how can I let you around my wife? You're going to grab her butt. You're going to get drunk and touch my wife's butt. Then now I have to say, did he touch your butt? Is she lying about who touched your butt? Was it a mistake? It wasn't a mistake. Now here we go. Now here I am killing you at the 57th annual Passover for touching my wife's butt. Which one is my wife? All of them. They're all mine. This whole row here, the whole bottom row is mine. Now you touch any butt over here, it's mine. Then now here you are, and a card is putting you in the trunk of a car because you touched someone's butt at the Passover. How can we come together? How can we be with each other at the 57th annual Passover? You're getting so drunk. You're so drunk that you're pushing brothers, trying to fight brothers. How can we come together at the 57th annual Passover? We can, but you cannot, because you have antisocial behavior. The question is, how do you stop it?
Kawal Khan, it's yes, sir.
You had your hand up too, Ibad. You want to say something?
I was just going to say, gossiping, talebearing.
Forget about it. Gossiping. How will we come together when you gossip? You women, you do that. You women who some would call stupid bitches. I'm not going to say that. But some people would call you a stupid bitch because you gossip. So now we're at the 57th annual Passover. You see what she's wearing? You see, now you're talking about sisters at the Passover. The sister who you're gossiping to tells other sisters. Now she knows that you talked behind her back and you gossip and you're tale bearing. Now there's a whole conflict and a fight at the 57th annual Passover. Well, let me just answer his question. What's the cure? Punishment. Punishment is the cure to antisocial behavior. being exiled. That's the punishment. So in essence, you're gossiping at the Passover. You go to the Passover. Some of you brothers, you're going to want to have sex with a woman at the Passover. She's single. She's not married. You're going to want to have sex with her. Why? Because you've been secretly talking to her on your Instagrams or your back. What's the thing? Inboxing. Your back. What's the thing? Say again. DM. On your DMs, you've been talking to her. So now you see her at the Passover. You have sex with her. You haven't gotten permission. You haven't talked to her camp leader. Hablo con su líder de capitán. Habla con su líder de capitán. You haven't talked to his camp leader. She hasn't talked to yours, but you go and have sex with each other. Come to find out, this sister was courting another brother, but you didn't know because you have antisocial behavior. You're not willing to make the sacrifice of communication that we do in here so that two brothers aren't having sex with the same woman, right? That's why you have to get permission to marry in here, so that two brothers aren't having sex with the same broad. So you're asking, who is this sister available? Can I court her? Can I marry her? That's why you're asking. But if you're some nut that needs to live out in a plot of land you bought out in the woods with a dog, a wife you beat to death, and 2 chickens, then you don't ask anybody who to have sex with. You have sex with your wife and your stepdaughter because you don't have to ask any man for permission. But in here, you will ask because that's our social agreement that we all made with each other. Everybody understands? Well, how do you stop that? You punish that person. You get them out of the social agreement. Now you're out. Now you cannot come to the Passover. You cannot come to class. That's what the Bible did. The Bible exiled Israelites because of their uncleanness. They're exiled now. They can't come around. They are aliens from the Commonwealth of Israel. Now they can't come around. Now you're kicked out of the school because you go around a brother's child, you touch that child. You go around a brother's wife, you do something inappropriate with her. You go around sisters, you gossip about sisters or try to fight sisters. Some of you stupid bitches in there, I wouldn't call you that, but people would call you a stupid bitch. You find out that your man is talking to another sister in the school. You go and confront her and try to fight her at the 57th annual Passover. My God. Sister, you're never coming around again. And your husband is going to have 3 more women because I'm going to make sure of it just to punish you. You know I do that, Yediah. If a sister really disobeys her husband and embarrasses him on the internet, I go find women to marry him. I go look for it because I want this brother to have other women to hurt you because you've broken our social agreement. We don't fight each other in here. We don't assault each other. If you're angry at someone in here, you take her to counsel. That's our agreement that we all made for the sake of being with each other. This year is the Passover. The Passover is coming up. I'm going to give you my usual warning that I traditionally do every year for the Passover. But Yediah, is it too soon? It strikes me like I'm taking the cake out the oven a little soon here. Okay, I'll give you one now, and I'll give you another one later if necessary, right? Now, when you come to the Passover this year, if you have a drinking problem, you're not allowed to have a drinking problem at the Passover. You can't have it. You're not allowed to have schizophrenia at the Passover. You're not allowed to be bipolar at the Passover. If you're some jealous bitch, you're not allowed to be a jealous bitch this week. Not here. If you're some brother that you argue with every brother that talks to you, you're constantly getting in an argument with every brother. You don't like to follow orders. The minute you get with a brother, now you're arguing with him. You are not argumentative at the Passover. All of your personal problems that you allow yourself to have every day, you are not allowed to have them that week at the Passover. If you have them at the Passover, I'm going to introduce you to some brother. His name is Shamgar. He comes out of the UK, right? Shamgar. And he comes out of the U.P.K. He serves at the pleasure of Captain Akkad Abraham. Then you also have Laban out of Detroit. You also have Natazah out of South Carolina, right? And a few more brothers, Natazah Gabar as well. I'm going to get all those brothers together, and I'm going to have them teach you the lesson of transgression at the Passover. I'm going to have them give you the education that you so desire. Because I consider that you want an education when you misbehave at the Passover. You want to be taught the error of your ways. You need a correction so that you can uplift your people. You don't know how to uplift your people. Your behavior brings your race down. I'm going to give you a correction in the uplift of your people at the Passover, and Shamgar is going to do it at the Passover. All right? Everybody knows I'm not joking about this. This is not something I'm joking about. Allegedly, I've done this before. That's what they say. But, you know, people say a lot of things. All right. So now you come to the Passover, you behave yourself. You don't, if you have sex with a woman at the Passover, listen, if you're in the truth and if you get permission to marry, that's up to you. If you do not have permission to marry, do not marry a woman at the Passover simply because you bought a room. And I wish some of you dumb bitches out there, not that you are that, I wish you wouldn't just have sex with a brother who you've been breaking the 1 year rule with for 3 months. And you have sex with him at the Passover. He's only having sex with you because he has a room. Do you understand? Meaning, do you get that? Meaning, the reason that he did not have sex with you before this is because he didn't have a hotel room, right? Because surely he could have, I mean, you live, 10 hours from each other. He could have flew you into his city or flew into yours and had sex with you before the Passover. But he did not want to get a room because you weren't worth enough to even get a room when he didn't need to get one. But since he must get a hotel room for the Passover, he has a hotel room. It's just convenient for him to have sex with you at the Passover. Well, if you do it, and if later on you come to me and say, General, I was so stupid. I was just being dumb. You were dumb, you stupid, dumb bitch. And you're also a married, stupid, dumb bitch now. Now you got a husband. Call him. Talk to him. Tell him your problems. You know how many broads that call me, I tell them don't get married. Do not marry. Do not. They get married. And then now here's my damn, what's they called box again? Now my DMs is full of, can I get some counsel about my marriage? No, you cannot. No, you're going to have to live in that marriage. You got your counsel before you got married. Once you get married, after I've told you not to, now you got to be a grown woman now. Now you got to grow up. Now your husband makes you angry, you got to deal with it. Now you got to accept the repercussions. And I know you hate accountability, but grown women can't run from it. Grown men cannot run from it. If you have sex at that Passover, you will absolutely be stuck to the bond that you have made. You will also be punished, and you will also pay probably double the dowry that you were going to pay. For a good broad in the UPK, a good strong broad, you might have to give a dowry up of about $600 to $1,500. Some sister that has been trained, taught, eloquent, educated, a woman of sagacity and intelligence, or you're going to pay some money if you want to marry her. If you take her without the dowry, then that's going to get double. That's going to get double. And if you leave the truth over what you've done, that is my point of doing it. Do you get my point now? All right. Many punishments I give under Commanding General YAHANNA's authority, which he don't know about, is just to get you to leave the school. That's it. Oh, brother, you would have paid $1,500 for that dowry. Now you're going to pay $3,000 for that dowry. I don't expect to get a penny from you. I just want you to leave the truth and take that stupid bitch with you. Does everyone understand? All right. With that said, I'd like to pass the class over to Priest Officer Mahayaman. Am I right? I'm sorry. You have one more question, please, Mahayaman? You got it. Go ahead.
I mean, brother wanted a general breakdown of what is meditation according to the Bible.
No problem. Meditation, I'm sure you're referring to the precepts about meditate upon terrors, meditate upon this. Meditation is thinking. And that's what you have to make it, and you cannot make it more than that. Meditation, because of the influence of Eastern philosophy, is not thinking anymore. Meditation now is chanting. Do you understand? Chanting is now, if I decide to meditate, what do? I light incense. I fold my legs, like this here, which I don't know if I could even do anymore. Right? Or you fold your legs. I ain't did it since I was in grade school or something. Or I don't know. But you got your legs folded like this here. You're sitting like this. You got the incense burning. Oh, now I'm in a good meditative state right now. Right? That's meditation. Meditation now is religious. Just simply because of TV, and the influx of Buddhism and, Eastern philosophy. And of course, the Chinese, they know everything, don't they? The Chinese are experts in everything. Remember this, I'm in the damn gym. I'm in the gym, I'm lifting the weights, and I'm like, it's so painful. I'm like, I'm sitting there, I put the weight down, and some Chinese broad came over to me. She said, "You are low in magnesium." That's what she said. She said, "You are low in magnesium. You need magnesium." I said, "Okay, Miss Lee, all right, whatever." I go to the goddamn doctor a month later, I was low in magnesium. I said, "You Chinese bitch." I was so mad. She was right. I looked at her, I said, "What? I'm low in magnesium. God damn it." Listen, well, the Chinese people, everybody believes them. They say something, it's true. They say, well, listen, you got to fight like this. You got to do the kung fu, the karate. You can heal someone, hit them right here with their heart with your finger. They're going to die. People go, yes, that makes complete, total sense. So Chinese people made meditation, a religious thing where you can just transcend the earth and drift off into another plane of existence. Thinking is meditation in the Bible. You're just thinking. Thinking is a lost art. Thinking was a lost art in the Bible. People didn't think. Just think, at a time when survival is difficult, people will not think when they have to survive. People react. There's no food, and if the weather is bad and your crops are dying, people are not thinking. People are surviving. So thinking has always been something that takes discipline to do, because most people do not think, because thinking goes against reacting, surviving, impulse. You get my point? The Bible wants you to think. Think before you act, please.
Did King Solomon use that thing?
Did he, when he married those broads? Is that what you're talking about? Or when he was praying? And break it down.
When he was with all his wisdom,
I totally get what you're saying. Absolutely, King Solomon did. King Solomon would think. King Solomon was very rich, and he did not have to fight the kind of wars that David did. David did not think. You get my point? David reacted. He just reacted. He went to kill somebody, he killed him. The sister stopped him from killing someone. He thanked her. He thanked Abigail for stopping him from killing her husband and all of his men, because he did not think, because he had to survive. He was hungry and on the run and had to survive. And being in a survival mode stopped you from thinking, right? Solomon was rich and powerful. His father had won him the kingdom. He had the benefit, the privilege of thinking. And in doing so, he made great decisions, amazing decisions. Well, the art is to be able to be in a survival mode and still think, because Jesus Christ did that. Jesus Christ was hungry, thirsty, and still was thinking. Still did not allow himself to go into lust or greed or hunger, even though he was hungry and thirsty, even though his life was in danger. He could still think. A lesson that Commander General YAHANNA taught me when I was young is to breathe in your nose, out your mouth, in your nose, out your mouth. Hold it for 10 seconds. Hold it for 15 seconds. Hold it for 20 seconds. Hold it for 45 seconds. Breathe out, push all the air out, because controlling your breath is controlling you. That gives me the pause I need to stop worrying and to start thinking. Thinking is meditation. All right, good to go? With that, pass the class over to Priest Officer Mathumya.
All right, this is I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We the I.S.U.P.K start out on 1 West on 25th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding Judah YAHANNA. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister is in Slocket. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, a teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Ties, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 to 10 means tip in the Hebrew. My I.S.U.P.K 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give the Treasury Department, priest fund, free will priest for offering. It's like free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you are like. Upcoming holy convocations, we got the Feast of Dedications, which is Hanukkah, and that's the 25th day of the 9th month by the space of 8 days. So it's Sunday, December 4th, for 8 days. If you want to read up on it, go to 1 Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 52, and read down to 61. From my Akim Akwakim, check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school to start wearing all black, boot, shirt, pair, headband, and scarf. With that, imagine just the brothers. All right, men of Israel, we'll get the brothers on courtesy salute. Men of Israel, imagine Shabbat. Imagine. Barak. Yahweh, Shemi, Yahushua, Barak, go. After the time, hands down, sorry, we're going to face the sisters. That's his imagine. We're going to get a sister on courtesy salute. Men of Israel, imagine Shabbat. Imagine. Barak. Yahweh, Shemar, Adonai, Shemi, Yahushua. That's my time. Hands down, class dismissed.